Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Wake up. Hey. Okay, I'm just kidding. Seriously. Good morning, everyone. I hope you are having an amazing day. I actually have to leave the house today, so I had to put on I had to put some clothes on and like real clothes, like presentable, be around other humans clothes. So I had to do that. And oh my gosh, I'm pretty excited for today. Today is my hunting day. I get to go hunt for speaking gigs. How are you doing this morning? So let me go ahead and share this out because today's topic is going to be pretty serious. We're going to talk about the 3 game-changing reasons why your numbers are important. No, seriously, that's what we're going to talk about today. So I'm going to share this to my friends over at Budget School. Maybe they can come on over here because we got to talk about this number stuff. Yesterday, we talked about this number stuff, and thank you for yesterday. I'm a little bit more perky. Just a little bit, not a whole lot, but just a little bit more perky. So if you see me typing, that means I'm typing. Yeah. Yep, that's what I do. I got to tell you something. I got a little lesson learned. Before I introduce myself, I want to give a little lesson learned. So Ask the Budgetologist is a podcast. I do the live stream, then I turn it into a podcast, and you know that. But what I want to tell you is that I started this about a year ago, and I never told anyone about the podcast version of this show, and my downloads reflected that. I have like 10 downloads here, 10 every now and then, all across the board. Until I started mentioning it in July. In July, I had about 189 downloads. But this month alone, in August, I have over, I think, about 600 downloads. Oh my gosh. I literally went from like 11 to 200 at the end of July to almost 600. Now, the lesson here is if you don't tell anybody what you're doing, they're not going to participate. This is just the quick lesson before I introduce myself. You got to tell people what you are doing. Sorry about that. You got to tell people what you are doing. If you want to be a speaker, you got to tell people. If you have a business, you have to tell people. If you want clients, you have to tell people. If you want people to listen to your podcast, you have to tell people. Just a quick lesson that if you don't tell anybody what you're doing, don't be surprised if they don't participate. So quick lesson for those of you who are listening, I'm in your feed and you're just like, okay, did she just start or what? I am Phylecia Jones, budgetologist and solopreneur, money management expert, and you are watching Ask the Budgetologist. I come to you every morning and I answer any questions you have around business, budgeting, and solo entrepreneurship. And I give you a lot of financial advice. And I gave you some pre-advice before the intro of that you got to start telling people what you're doing. Like, seriously, you got to start telling people. Now, today's show, we're going to talk about the 3 game-changing reasons why your numbers are important. Still to this day, I got folks who won't look at their numbers, who refuse to. And here's some stats that you need to know. 40% of Americans cannot come up with $400 for a quick emergency. I know emergencies are quick, but most people cannot come up with $400 in a few days to take care of emergency. You don't have to respond, but if you are like that, your numbers need to be important to you. We have about 30% of business owners who take 0 salary for the life of their business. And those who do take a salary, they barely take enough to keep going. So you keep asking me, why are the numbers important? That's why. Just take those stats. I read these stats almost once a week. I don't read them every day as I used to, but I read these stats every week. 80% of Americans can't come up with $1,000 in 2 weeks for an emergency. 75% of Americans who make over $100,000 cannot come up with $1,200 for an emergency. If you want me to keep going, we can keep going. This is the reality, and this is why people always keep fighting me on knowing these numbers. So I'm going to give you 3 game-changing reasons why your numbers are important and why you got to know them if you want to be successful or if you just want to get out of the mess you're currently in. I know. So good morning, Miss Twyla, Heather, Beatrice, Denise. Thank you so very much. Of course, I'm coming to you live here on Instagram.com/Keep Up with Mrs. Jones and Facebook.com/Keep Up with Mrs. Jones. If I can help you in any way with anything I'm going to say today, All you got to do is click that beautiful blue book now button, schedule a session with me. The blue button's only on facebook.com. Or you can go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart, and I will be here to help you. You, me, one-on-one. It's going to be amazing. So let me know. Hey, Tanya. Hey, Tanya, how you doing? Tanya's been busy. She has babies and getting ready for school, or they're already at school. Hey, Dawn, how are you? All right. Of course, I got to give a shout out to my friends over at Podcast Websites. They actually just posted a new article on how to monetize, get your first few sponsorships for your podcast. So for those of you who are speakers, and if you do have a podcast, we talked about how to make other money while you're trying to get your speaking game on. So you might want to go check it out. So go over to keepupwithmrsjones.com/podcast websites. It'll lead you right over to the blog post. All right. We got to talk about numbers today because I actually have to leave fairly soon. Numbers. I gave you all the stats. Still to this day, we have a lot of people who just won't do anything with their numbers. And I know Heather told me that since listening to me, her and her husband, they have been on it, keeping up with the numbers, having their spreadsheets going. I know Tanya paid off a car last year. That I get it. You guys are, I'm just so impressed when I get your emails about all the things that you're doing. It's like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. Hey, Maya, how you doing? Maya looks like Storm from X-Men. Yes. But so many people have still fight me on the numbers, especially my business owners here. This number stuff is real. Now let's look at the whole thing. You decided to become a business owner. Now you have to manage the numbers inside of your business and at your home. Now, if you're one of those people who has a spouse that take care of everything, okay, I guess that's kind of good. But at some point, you're going to need to know what the numbers are in your house as well. And for the number of people who choose to ignore, who choose to ignore their numbers, they find themselves in these odd situations. I've told you about people who make $100,000 and blow it in one quarter. I have met people who make $600,000 a year, cannot come up with $1,000 for an emergency. I know people who make $300,000 a year and have like $50 in their savings account. So when you keep fighting me on these numbers and saying, oh, I'm going to do it later, maybe when I make some money, when I marry Prince Harry's already married, ladies, it ain't going to happen for you. So if you're sitting around still fighting and still hoping that these numbers will magically fix themselves, I hate to tell you, it's not going to happen. And this is why you have to pay attention to the numbers. You have to pay attention to the numbers. Here's the one game-changing reason why you need to pay attention to your numbers and why they are important. You got to make decisions. How are you making decisions when you don't know your numbers? Seriously, how are you making decisions when you don't know what you've been doing or what you need to do? Making good decisions is why your numbers are important. When we don't know our numbers, you know what we do. Oh my gosh, we start freaking out, pulling out credit cards, getting loans for this, getting loans for that, borrowing money from people, alienating our friends and making them pissed off at us because we don't pay them back. The number one game-changing reason why your numbers are important, you got to make good decisions. You have to make good decisions. And like from what I can tell, I'm not talking to a bunch of 16-year-olds here. And I ain't talking to a bunch of 25-year-olds. I would dare say I'm not talking to a bunch of 30-year-olds. Ooh, not trying to call people out on their age. I like to think that I'm talking to grown-ass people. Sorry if that's explicit and if I get taken out. I'm talking to a bunch of adults here. You can't blame it on age. You can't blame it on not knowing stuff. And in this day and age, you got the internet. The internet will teach you a lot of stuff in about 15 minutes. At this point, the game-changing reason why your numbers are important is that you need to start making good decisions. You need to make good decisions, okay? That's it. And Denise is saying numbers are fun. Yes, numbers are very fun. And Tanya is saying, hey, the kids are in school and keeping me super busy. Love that I paid off the car, had a 9-to-5 job disruption, and now I'm so glad I don't have a car note. Yes. When you can, oh my gosh, I know how that feels when you don't have a car payment. It's amazing. It is amazing because it's like, whoo, don't have to deal with that. But number one game-changing reason why your numbers are important is so that you can make really good decisions, okay? Now, I'm talking to my business owners who are who have personal finances too, all right? You gotta make good decisions. I know you're just like, Phylecia, why are you saying this over and over again? Because I'm trying to come up with number two because I didn't write all this stuff down. Number two, game-changing reason why your numbers are important. All right, number two. Gosh, it was just in my head. I'm sorry. I'm not prepared this morning. No, number two, game-changing reason. I think I'm just getting old and missing out on things. But no, the game-changing reason number two is because it builds confidence. No, seriously. You might be wondering, like, okay, what do you mean, like, confidence? You have no idea when you know math, when you know numbers, when you own it, you step so much differently as a person, as a human, and as a business owner. It gives you so much confidence. You have no idea. Now, my TEDx talk, and I'm actually meeting with the TEDx coaches. Hey, Cassie, how you doing? Meeting with them next Tuesday, I think. But my talk is going to be about what would happen if girls were given the stereotype that they were great with numbers or that they were great at math. You know that the moment you know numbers, you will be confident. And you know this, when we look at other parts of our lives, when we are confident in other parts of our lives, we stand up a little bit straighter. The girls stick out a little bit more. We strut in our heels. You will have confidence around your decisions. You will have confidence in being a good CEO, being a good CFO, understanding and moving your numbers around. You will hands down be confident in what you are doing. So this is why I'm telling you, you have to know these numbers. When you are not a confident business owner, people won't have confidence in you. Sorry. People won't have confidence in you. If you're just like, I don't really like talking about the numbers. Like, seriously, as a business owner, you don't want to talk about the numbers? You have to talk about these numbers. And just imagine. Oh, Dawn saying she got her TEDx ticket. Can't wait. Such a great topic. Yes, it's going to be a new one. It's so far out of my comfort zone. I'm about to release a blog post on this. I'm so far out of my comfort zone in this TEDx talk. You have no idea. But it's about math, so I'm good. So this is why you have to know the numbers. My whole talk is going to be about math, so I can handle that. But when you are confident in what you are doing, you just show up so much differently. And I really want to preach to you, especially with my women business owners. You got to stop doing this thing. I don't like the numbers. I got to be forced to talk to my accountant. No, you are the CFO of your business and you got to show up. So the two game-changing reasons why your numbers are important. One, you got to make good decisions. Two, it just gives you confidence. And when you have confidence in the decisions you make, you don't second guess. You don't put yourself down. You don't rethink, overthink, and pre-think and post-think. You don't do all those things. You just do what you need to do. Maya is asking, when is the TEDx? It is November 30th. It is TEDx Cherry Creek. It is going to be at the, oh my gosh, it's something called Glen. I forget the area of town it's in, but it's off Colorado Boulevard. It's where the rugby team plays. So I'm going to be there. So go to TEDx Cherry Creek Women and you can go find all the details. And from what I'm understanding, the tickets are going like really freakishly fast. It is crazy. I think it's going to be 400 to 500 people. I have never been on a stage that big before in my life. Oh my gosh. So I'm like peeing on myself. I'm like pre-peeing on myself. But okay, I'm like squirreling off. All right. Twyla is saying, knowing your numbers make you a better business coach too. You're confident you can help other people make money because you know how to make money. Yes, you're so right. All right. You got to know your numbers, people. You got to know. All right. Now, number 3, game-changing reason why your numbers are important. It gives you freedom. I know a lot of you like, I follow quite a few of you on Instagram or on Facebook, and I see all these things of bucket lists, wish lists. I want to travel. I want to see the world. I want to buy a new car. I want to buy a new house. I want to go do all these different things. When you know your numbers, when you are confident in what you are doing, it will bring you freedom. And the freedom comes with doing what you're supposed to do. If you have debt and you know you need to get out of it, it'll help you have the plan so that you can get out of it, so that you can achieve the freedom. When you know your numbers for your business, it'll give you the freedom to run your business like you want to run it. Not in stress mode, not in like freaking out and panic mode, but you have the freedom to have a business that is truly yours. And when you know your numbers, you have the freedom to go and live. You can go and live for free. I know it sounds a little wooey, but you can live for free. Glendale. Yes, Maya, Glendale. Sorry. Infinity Park. Thank you. Yep, there you go. And I know it sounds a little fluffy, but you really do. I know a lot of people who are trying to do financial freedom, retire early. It really does. You have no idea when I paid off debt. So here's the situation. I have no debt other than a mortgage. And I'm so fine with paying the mortgage for 30 years. My interest rate is like 3%. It's like, why would I pay that thing off? So outside of that, we don't have any debt. No credit card debt. Nobody's breathing down our necks. Nobody's stressing us out. And I really don't talk about these things very often. I talk about a lot of things, but I don't talk about this. But you're going to hear about it soon. We just purchased a brand new car and an RV, and we paid cash for it. That's the type of freedom that you probably want. Hey, Creative Auto Reviews, how you doing? Hey, Rebecca. Sorry, I'm not looking at you guys over there. But that's the freedom that you want. I'm serious, okay? Stop having all these dreams and actually start living the life that you're supposed to live. If you don't know your numbers, you will not know what you need to do to get there. And all these things, being debt free, traveling the world, doing whatever you want, whenever you want, it'll all just be a dream. And it's going to be that must be nice. All you're going to do is just go through people's Facebook feeds and just click, oh, that must be nice. Oh, that must be nice. Oh, that must be nice. And you're just going to throw shade at people. For whatever reason, when you know your numbers, you don't even pass judgment on people. You're freed from all people's other drama. Ooh, when you know your numbers, you are free from other people's dramas because you just choose not to participate. That's why I'm so on you. That's why I want you to know your numbers. That's why I will hound this for the next year. Because I want you to be smart. I want you to make good decisions. I want you to be confident. And I truly and honestly want you to go live the life that you say that you want. Like I said, I'm not talking to a bunch of 16-year-olds that are hoping and wishing for all the things that happen when they're 25. I'm not talking to a bunch of 25-year-olds. And like I said, I know I'm not talking to a bunch of people in their 30s either. Facebook tells me that my age range is 44 to 55. I know who my audience is. So I'm talking to a bunch of adults here. And if you want to achieve the life that you say you want to live, then you need to know your numbers. Stop skating around. Stop skating around the issues. Stop tap dancing. Stop thinking somebody's going to save you. Stop thinking Prince Harry's going to come and save you. He ain't. Girl, he is married. And if he did want you, yeah, you missed out on that boat when you were 16 because you needed to start prepping then. So it ain't going to happen. I mean, if it does, I don't want to say it never will happen, but the odds are not in your favor. Isn't that what they say on Hunger Games? The odds are not in your favor, or may they ever forever be in your favor, which they're kind of not. Yeah, it's just not going to go that way. All right. Cassie says, I love numbers. Yes, Cassie, you do love numbers. And Twyla saying, hated the days I had to turn the ringer off my phone just so I wouldn't hear the creditor calls every hour. Oh my gosh, Twyla, I didn't even talk about the freedom. Like, I get no phone calls anymore. Like, yeah, no phone calls. I have been through that. I went through that right when I got out of college, and you just avoided the phone. It's so funny. You avoid a little thing like, oh, you avoid the phone, but it's freedom from not having to duck and dodge and do all of those things, not having to have the freedom to not have clients. If you are one of these people, I mean, we've all had clients that hang up on us, that don't want to give us our money. Don't be that person. When you know your numbers, you can live completely differently. So the 3 game-changing reasons why your numbers are hands down important, and I want this to be in your head. Number 1, you need to make good decisions. It is officially time for you to make good decisions around your life, around your business, and how you want to live. And we can sit here and pretend like all this other stuff can just magically fall. I see things from a numbers perspective. I don't see it I see from all different perspectives, but the reality is we live in America. And for those of you who don't live in America, you probably consume American things. Let's just be honest. And America likes money. And in America, you need money to survive. If you think I'm wrong, please let me know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Money makes a huge difference in living in the United States. So it's time for you to start making some decisions so that you can live your life the way you want to and run your business the way you want to. Number 2, you need to build your confidence. It is time for you to start building your confidence around knowing your numbers. You will show up differently. You will strut differently. You'll have better posture. You will talk differently, and you won't be scared anymore. You won't be scared to address what you need to address. Okay? Number 3, game-changing reason why your numbers are important: freedom. If you want to go live this life that you say you want to live, if you don't want creditors harassing you, you don't want to owe people any money, you want to be able to drop a crap ton of cash to go have some fun, freedom. That's what knowing your numbers will get you to. All right? Freedom from that money monkey off your back. Yes, Twyla, you are so right. So if you have any questions, I know it's not really, I didn't really open it up for questions today, but if you have any questions around anything, just let me know. Seriously, I am here to help you as much as I can, as often as I can. If you got questions, put them in the comment box. You can DM me. I will answer them here. If you need to get together, go to keepupwithmrsjones.com/jumpstart. We can have a one-on-one discussion around your numbers. I'm not trying to put you into a 6-month, 8-month coaching program. We'll figure out what you need right then and there, and then we'll go from that point on. Sometimes a lot of you just need some minor tweaks to keep going. Okay? I am here to help you, but you need to know these numbers. If you have been tap dancing so around this for too long, and like I said, this month's theme, like secret theme, was recession proofing your business. And if there is talk of a recession, talk of a slowdown, then, and if you don't know your numbers, you're going to be hit number 1. You're going to be one of the first people hit, because when you walk into a recession ignorant of what you need to do or what's going on, it's going to slap you around like, psh, 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 psh. Oh, it's going to be nasty. It's going to slap you around, and you don't want to be slapped around. Seriously, you don't want to be slapped around. So know your numbers. All right. If I can help you any further, you know how to find me. I actually need to run off now. So I'm going to sign off on Instagram. So you guys pause. For those of you on Instagram, thank you so very much for being here. And I should always prep this, but I need to figure out, what were we talking about tomorrow? Ooh, tomorrow, everyone, tomorrow. Should I get a job if a recession is coming? I know this is kind of controversial in the business owner world, but we're going to talk about when it's time to get a job and not feeling bad about it, because you are the only one who puts food in your mouth. All right. So for those of you on Instagram, have an amazing day. Take care. Happy budgeting. I'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Bye. For those of you who are still here on Facebook, I appreciate every last one of you. Twyla is saying, can you talk about taking a job and making your business a side hustle if you need to? Oh, Twyla. So I just read this. I saw that it came up, but I was looking at yesterday's for tomorrow's topic. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about if it's time to take a job. A lot of people in the business owner world like to shame people that get a job. And I get it. Now, it depends on what type of business you had. If you're promising people $1 million and you got a job, you just kind of stepped on your own foot. But at the end of the day, you're the only person who feeds you. You're the only person who takes care of you. Screw what everybody else thinks, because nobody else is randomly paying your bills for you. So we're going to talk about recessions and getting jobs tomorrow. So I got you, Twyla. Have an amazing day. Take care. Happy budgeting. You know, I appreciate every last stinking one of you. And for those of you listening to the podcast, I appreciate you as well. So I'll see you bright and early. Have an amazing day. Bye.